Welcome back, folks. Back on Johnny Salami. We're going to be talking to the guy who's going to send you to Limansk. He is in the bar directly next to the 100 Rads bar here. He's going to be to the right of it. His name is Arkanov. So let's see what he's got to say. Pleasant thing to see. You look like an experienced zone researcher. So why are you wandering around this stinking bar instead of finally making your way to Limansk? That ghost town in the north of the zone? Well, it's not much of a ghost town anymore. Haven't you heard the latest news? They found ways of getting into Limansk through space bubbles. Stalkers, bandits, soldiers from different countries, fanatics, crazy loners, they're all going there. All roads lead to Limansk. What do you know about Limansk? Rumor has it the scientific town contains a bunch of discoveries and intel from the late Soviet era. Even now it's unreachable. But all this wonder was driven into the ground by the accident at Chernobyl nuclear power plant. And then perestroika was the final nail in the coffin. You talk about Limansk with such enthusiasm, but you're also stuck in the bar. Well, I'm not a free man. We all have obligations, debts, vows, tasks at the end of the end. Some consider themselves to be free spirits, but I have no such illusions. Maybe I'll make it to Limansk at some point, but for now, I have other obligations. Hold your horses. If I wanted to talk about my responsibilities and my problems, I'd have gone to the therapist. Sorry, but you're punching above your weight. However, one of my responsibilities is related to Limansk. I need a keen stalker to help me. I see, and you're trying to get me to do some kind of a job. I'm trying to broaden your horizons, kid. Limansk is the future. A lot of people have rushed in headfirst without understanding the situation. I can give you valuable knowledge and adequate pay for your work. What kind of knowledge? Limansk is a bit of a trap. You can get there easily enough through one of those space bubbles, but getting out is another matter entirely. To do this, you need an ID. An ID? What kind of ID? It's like an artifact, but most importantly, it's your ticket out. One of the scientists has speculated that the area in which Limansk has fallen generates a large amount of energy, which the zone periodically spits out. Emissions in the Limansk area are said to be even worse than they are here. So what? The remnants of this extra discarded energy collide with the biological organisms and form an artifact called an ID. It isn't possible to leave Limansk without any ID. Any attempts to do so have always ended in failure. The only downside to it is that there's a one-time deal. Once you leave, the ID disappears. How do you get a new one? You can only get it inside Limansk. I've heard you can beat it out of a particularly strong mutants, or that you can attain it from anomalous installations, for example. It's possible that there are other methods too. You need to explore and experiment. Even with this moderate amount of insight, you'll still be much better prepared for the trip to Limansk. Thank you, of course, but this educational program did have a purpose, right? I see you listen as well as you hear. Most people I know don't possess such wonderful qualities. I want you to get me some documents that were left behind in the local party offices at Limansk. To cut a long story short, I want you to fetch some scrap paper. Just simple, worthless papers. You're feeding me lines. Nothing peculiar about the assignment, I assure you. There's no catch. The reward will be worth it. If you're going to go off and conquer Limansk anyway, I see no reason for you to reject this mission. All right, I'll get your documents. And that gives you the quest, Welcome to Limansk. I'll give you the range you'll need to look for them. It's a folder with documents on the party leaders. Should have a number on it. It's either 723 or 731. Don't forget to take note of the escape routes. You'll also need an ID to return from Limansk. When you're back, you can find me right here at the bar, but if you step out somewhere, just ask for Arkanov. All right. And we just have to find the party documents, which are going to obviously be in Limansk, which is over here. So I'll see you guys once we get there. By the way, if you're looking for how to find the portals for Limansk, you can just go to the map, and if you look right here, it's got the little circle with a up arrow in it. There's one here, there's one over here, there's a couple up here. They're kind of all over the place, and I'm noticing that this one over here is lit up, this one's lit up, and this one is lit up, but this one is not. Oh, this one says unavailable, activates in 40 minutes. So they're not always active. You have to find one that is currently lit up, and I'm pretty sure they're only in the northern areas. Yeah, they're only going to be in the Fool's Path, Army Warehouse, and above. Okay, we are in the dead center of this place. Let's go up this building. We are just to the northeast of where the middle of the search bubble is, like right here in this building, which is from the courtyard out here. And there's some documents right here. Search for the folder. And that completes the quest, Welcome to Limansk. You get folder 731. So that one's done. All right, we are back at the bar. We did not exit Limansk in the proper way by finding whatever artifact there is you need to find. We exited it by eating bullets with our face. Somebody killed me while I was fighting zombies. So, but that's fine. I killed a couple people in there too. But we're back at the bar. We're going to turn in the folder that we got for the Welcome to Limansk quest. We're going to talk to Arkanov again here. Well, look who it is. Any progress on our case? I found folder 731. Wow, things are moving faster than I thought. Very good. Here's your reward. And listen, what do you say to continue our collaboration? A good reward isn't enough. I could do with some honesty. You want me to tell you point blank? Have it your way. I'm a military agent. I work on behalf of all good citizens. I stand for peace, order, and decency, so don't worry, you're not assisting some mad scientist or militant fanatic gathering an army of psychopaths around him. A military agent, and you'd reveal your identity to me just like that. Good one. I have nothing to gain from hiding from you. I've tried it before and it never works out. My command has put major restrictions on my means. My hands are tied. I need as many reliable assistants as possible. What command, what country do you work from? And he skips that. But let's skip over that for now. I fight for the forces of good against the forces of evil. It's a thankless task. I often have to get by on sheer enthusiasm, but I have a big heart. After all, I know that it's a just cause. For all your talk, you've still yet to get to the point. You're trying to seem honest, but you're still hiding something. You know, when I was young, I spent a lot of time playing spy games. Over time, I realized that it was nonsense. All that matters is standing up for what's right. And then there's you. You helped me once and proved that you can help this cause, the greater good, as I call it. If you can do it even more, and I suspect you can, then I want you on board. What do you suggest? We're conducting intensive searches for some information that I thought was lost during the evacuation of Limansk. These documents were contained in yet another folder. I could talk you through what's in it, but unfortunately we don't have much time. NATO soldiers are one step ahead of us on this search. They're trying to get their hands on something that never belonged to them in the first place. I shouldn't have to explain to you why we can't afford to declare full-scale war on NATO. So we need to resolve this matter with the help of private individuals. And by private individuals, you mean me, right? Do you want me to arrange a genocide of NATO forces? Do you think NATO is sending emasculated Boy Scouts with silicone-breasted girlfriends waving them off? They've sent a horde of bearded thugs from a private military company into the zone. Some of them even yesterday's terrorists who are being bombed by NATO itself. There's no way I can take on all of NATO's fighters in Limansk. This is insane. And that ends the quest for folder 731, and you get 20,000 rubles, 5,000 repair units, 3 morphines, 3 epis. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm in. And now we get military competition. It's vitally important for us to know what data NATO has already managed to get their hands on, so don't dilly-dally. Take the apprehended flash drives to our field agent Rozov. I'll send you the coordinates of the meeting place. I'll pass on any further instructions through him. Good luck. And we need to get NATO flash drives from soldiers. We need 7 of them. So we got to go get the flash drives from Limansk. So I'm going to run back up there, and I'll see you guys here in a second. Once you're on the military competition quest, you need to go and do the occupied buildings, and that lets you get NATO flash drives. Now, the fun thing about these flash drives is you don't keep them like you do other quest items. If you die in here with them, they drop. So you have to come back and get them every time you lose them. I am in a group with some guys that were already in here, and I guess they knew who I was. They're not actually over here with me, but I have gotten 2 flash drives and died both times. Once to a player. The next time I fell into a thermal area because I am an idiot. By the way, these NATO guys, they hurt. Okay, so this should give me a flash drive, and I'll show you what it looks like here. These NATO flash drives. Bound items, but they drop on death. Chase us! I can never tell if it's a real player. Most of the NPCs in here have suppressed weapons. The real question is, where'd that Chimera go? Where did that Chimera go? I don't like the fact that I don't know where he went. What? Could y'all go away? Trying to do something here. Oh, mother... Why?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, shit! That was a person. Which means that other person I saw below was real. shit. Are you serious? The server said it's shutting down soon. This is a fucking nightmare. Wow, way to be a dick. All right, I have 7 flash drives. 6 of them are in a stash, and the other one is on me. I went and got the flash drives out of my stash. And once you get all 7 flash drives, you don't have to extract them. You have to come and talk to Rozov, who is over here on the southeast side. If you're looking at this red crater down here in the southwest corner, it's going to be to the northeast of that up here. This is a building that usually spawns a occupied building. So we've got him in our inventory. Let's talk to him. Military agent with a bored look on his face, tossing a small silver coin up and down. You're a hired hand, right? Do you have anything for me? Here are the NATO flash drives. Take them. He examines you with suspicion. How delightful. The war dog has brought me back his prey in his mouth. What's your problem? Oh no, there's no problem. Here, take this. It's a list of instructions from Arkanov with your details of your next assignment. Familiarize yourself with them and then get going. When you're done, come look for me in the same spot. If I have to move out, I'll send you new coordinates to your PDA. And that completes Agent Rozov, and you get NATO Hideout. Whatever you say. And now we have to go find the NATO soldiers' hideout. So there's 4 of them. For this, you're going to need your scanner. So make sure you have this with you. So the first one is going to be right over here across the street. I think it's actually the 4th one, but let me run over here and scan. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're standing near one. It'll take you wherever the hell it wants to. So this one is going to be right here on the map. So for the stash that's right here on the map, you come in this tunnel that's dark at the end, go all the way to the end of the tunnel here, going north. Climb as far as you can and look up to your right, and there's going to be a small backpack. That is NATO gear. Quest a NATO hideout complete. You discover a stash of NATO military supplies. As stipulated in your instructions from Arkanov, you quickly scoop the contents of the stash. So that's 1 down. That's technically the 2nd hideout. All right, so another one is going to be, like I said, right across from where you get the quest from. It's going to be under this little trowel right here. On the map up top here. In between these 3 buildings, this big building behind you, there's this little orange, whatever the hell this is. There's a backpack inside of it. Another NATO stash. Take the loot and leave. The last 2 are going to be up north. I can't scan for them from here, so we're going to have to go up there and try it. So I'm going to head up there and I'll see you in a second. For the one that's located up here by where the Khmer Den is, to the east of it, you have to jump up all that, which is behind these containers here. You have to jump up on top of that, on the wall here, and then climb up top of here. And then if you lay down and climb under these trees here, on this east side, the backpack is right here. Take the loot and leave. So that was the 4th one. The 3rd one is all we have left, and it's right back there, but we still have to do the whole scanner thing. All right, so the last one is going to be in this warehouse area right here, just to the southwest of where that other one was, right below where the Chimera Den is. And you can just basically parkour your way up here. You can come up this little ramp right here on the east side, go up this ramp. We're going to be going in here. We're going to jump across. Going to climb up this ladder. Turn around, go this way. Once you come up the ladder and get on this, you can just drop off of this right here. I'm going to do the scanner up here after I drop down because I forgot to do the scanner at the bottom. And it won't let you loot the bag if you don't do the scanner. It immediately filled up. And that completes NATO hideouts, and other people's supplies has been received, and NATO supplies is also complete. So take the loot and leave. Now we just have to return to Rozov. So I'm going to make my way down there, and I'll see you guys here shortly. All right, we're over at Rozov again. He's back in the same spot. Rozov is playfully rolling his silver coin between his fingers as you approach. If I understood Arkanov's instructions correctly, you shouldn't have come back to me empty-handed, right? I got the supplies from the NATO stashes. Well done. I don't have a gold star for you, but you'll get something later from Arkanov. For now, we have a new task. I'm listening. And that ends other people's supplies, and we get Liquidation Part 1, and we get explosives. All your instructions are in writing again, and this came with them. Be careful, this is a claymore mine. You'll find out what to do with it in the instructions. If you suddenly lose it, come back and I'll give you a new one, but try not to lose it. All right, I'll try my best. Plant the explosives, and the explosives go over there. Okay, so we come to this little area, and you can come through this courtyard area. There is a trampoline right there, so be careful. You can come from the other way as well. But if you're coming from the north side, you'll hang a left in here, go up this little thing. You can see the installation part without even going in the building. So that's done, and now we need to kill 30 NATO soldiers. If I fail or don't make it in time, I'll have to start the whole thing from the beginning by replanting the explosives. You have to do this, as far as I know, in one life. So if you die, you have to start back over. So what I was reading was that you should get friends to come do this with you, and they can run around and kill NATO soldiers while you hide somewhere, like close, and you'll get credit for their kills. Okay, so I've killed the 30 NATO patrolmen that I need to kill, and we have to go meet with a NATO agent now. I was at like 28 kills earlier and somebody killed me, so I had to restart. Okay, so he's going to be in this building. If you're looking at this little cross-shaped building here in the middle, it's going to be to the northwest of that, sort of. And we're just supposed to talk to him. I heard a noise. A bunch of NATO soldiers were killed in the sector. Does that mean Mr. Arkanov's gift is ready under the Christmas tree? It's under the tree. You can give it out to your guests. Then I should run. This is the kind of gift you got to hand out while it's still hot. And that completes Liquidation Part 3, which was terrible, by the way. And now we get Successful Liquidation. Now we have to meet with Rozov again, which he's way up north now, and there's a Phantom Chimera den there. I'm gonna make my way up there, and I will see you guys here in a few. Oh, here we go. It's all the way around the back, so it's gonna be around the back northwestern corner here. And here's Rozov. All right, so we're back up here. I had to go and get the note. Make sure you have Arkanov's instructions too before you come try to turn this in to Rozov. What is it? What's wrong? Puts his hand behind his ear and clenches it into a fist and shakes it. Then he unfurls his finger and a silver coin is shimmering in the palm of his hand. Did you like my trick? Cool, huh? God damn it, screw your tricks. I thought something had happened. He smirks. This is the first time in ages that I've seen a man find money right in front of him and swear rather than rejoice. Something really has happened though. Arkanov wants you to go see him. Go over to the bar. I think he's prepared a reward for you. And a new chore, of course. So Successful Liquidation is complete, and now we get the quest, The Best Saboteur. So we got to go all the way back to the bar now. So I'll see you guys once we make it there. We're back in the bar. As soon as you get into range of Arkanov, it pops you into conversation here. Arkanov is in a heated argument with someone you don't recognize. It looks like the skirmish has been going on for quite a long time, and it seems to be getting out of hand. You're not going to deny that you work for the military, are you? Who's your commanding officer? A few of my insiders have reported that you've overstepped your official duties. Excuse me, what's going on here? Well, looky here, a new fish in the pond. I hope you're a bit more forthcoming than Mr. Arkanov. Excuse me, buddy, you work for him, right? Will you give me an interview? What's going on here? Who are you, anyway? Oh, I've been going wild in this zone. It's shameful. I've completely forgotten my ethics, both common and journalistic. Nikita Lyson? Journalist, nice to meet you. Do you have 2 or 3 minutes for me? Before you have time to say anything, Arkanov grabs the journalist by the lapels and yanks him aside. Lyson tries to break free. Relax, I see you're not in the mood to talk. Well, in that case, I'd rather retire. See you another time. What madness is this? And that's the Lyson guy. So now we're going to talk to Arkanov. Do you know what I call those filthy buggers? Tabloid hacks. Nasty little hacks who try to worm their way into everything, poking their stubby noses into every hole to search for the next big story. Seems like you had a bit of a conflict. Hold your horses. Let's wait until our little dove is retired. You wait until Lyson's walked off. That's it. Sheesh. Now we can speak freely. What did he want? You still don't get it. That insect with a ballpoint pen stuck up his ass is looking for a victim. The tabloid hack thought he'd stuck his claws into a sucker, but I shut him down. All these journalists need to be driven out, and that's that. So, can we get back to business? Yeah, let's talk business. You've made some progress in your actions against NATO forces in Limansk, but your race is still in full swing. We must get ahead of them by any means possible. I'm fighting NATO in Limansk, and I don't even really know why. Maybe it's time you explain. You've never once made me doubt yourself. Well, I'll share some information with you. During the Soviet era, a large number of scientific laboratories were established in the zone. Being a stalker, you've probably heard the legends. Of course, I've also personally investigated some of the laboratories, you know. The Red Time was the name of one of the most curious and ambitious scientific projects developed in the Soviet Union. Professor Basov, who led the Red Time group, threatened to turn science on its head to make new discoveries in the field of temporal technology. Tell me more about it. I'm not a scientist myself. At a primitive level, all this stuff could be described as an attempt to create a weapon which could be based on temporal technology. You might have heard Basov's laboratory was recently unearthed. The Dead Time project was launched there. And what does all this gibberish have to do with what we're doing? The scientists who initiated the Dead Time Project searched the laboratory for Basav's inventions and for any documents relating to them. However, they overlooked something very important. Reports on the Red Time Project that were compiled by Basav and military consultants who had monitored the development were sent to Limansk. So you're after these reports? Yes. Shortly before the evacuation of Limansk, they were compiled into so-called Red Folder. The folder is supposed to be taken out of town, but Soviet counterintelligence underestimated the determination of Western spies. We know that the spies failed to get their hands on the folder, but it was never taken out of Limansk. That's a great story. What's next? Win the race against NATO and get to the folder at any cost? Exactly. By the way, it's our understanding that one of the local scientists, Professor Selenchek, has been cooperating with NATO forces. I'd like to hack his computer and extract the correspondence with NATO, but I need to buy some time. That's where you come in. Can you be more specific? And that ends the best saboteur, and we get the professor and the student. And that also gives us a dossier on the professor, 70,000 rubles, 15,000 repair units, a pouch of guides, first aid kits, 2 crates of 545 SBP, a crate of 762 SBP, and a crate of 9mm SBP. I'll see what I can do. And now we have to distract Selenchek, which he's going to be over by where Professor Bondarenko is. So he's going to be standing out here. He is in a red science suit. This is one of the places where you have to choose the correct option. So make sure you're choosing the option that is highlighted on the screen. So let's talk to him. I'm sorry, what do you want? Can I have a word? Sorry, I was just looking for a place to get my throat wet, and actually, I think I found it. Now I have to get back to work. Whatever your question is, you'd better ask someone else. So on this one, on the first option, you are going to choose Professor Selenchek. Is that really you? I've heard a lot about you. Are you being serious? You got to be kidding me. I don't have too much experience with local stalkers, but so far I don't have much faith in their scientific knowledge. And I didn't think that someone here could recognize a scientific figure by sight. So surprise me if you really do know me. What's my profession? And for his profession, it's going to be a biologist. You know, looking at you now, maybe I'm just imagining, but your face is familiar. Have we crossed paths somewhere before? Maybe you were a student of one of my lectures? And you only have one option here, so yes, exactly. I attended your lectures. Really fascinating stuff. Yes. And which of my lectures did you attend? Where were they? And this one is going to be the third one again, here in Marie Curie University at France. Are you kidding? This is extraordinary. In this wild place they call the zone, I met a civilized man who's thrown himself into the questions of science alongside me. Fantastic. At the risk of sounding proud, I must ask, what's the name of my major monumental scientific work? And for the last option, you're going to choose the second one, special features of the flesh digestive system. Amazing. I see you appreciated my work, didn't you? Just between us, when I first started studying the digestive system of the flesh, I didn't think I'd discover anything unusual. Who cares about a pig? A pig exposed to anomalies. But the first autopsy turned my world completely upside down. Please, Professor, don't stop. Tell me everything. I'd love to hear this lecture again. Doesn't take much persuasion. It seems he was so inspired by your knowledge that he now seeks to enhance it in every possible way. He tells you about the duodenum of the flesh for at least 20 minutes. At the end of the lecture, you can barely hold back a yawn. This is one of the happiest days of my life, Professor. I've basked in the rays of your knowledge, and it was amazing. I swear I could share my impressions of this work with you for 2 whole days without a break. There are so many interesting details that couldn't be included in the main paper, but alas, duty calls. I have work. If our paths cross again in my free time, I'll give you another exclusive lecture, and that ends the professor and the student, and we get after lectures. You're too kind, Professor. I won't distract you any longer. It's intolerable. I mean, your absence is intolerable in the scientific community. So now we just got to go back and talk to Arkanov. All right, back at Arkanov, everything went well, even a bit too well. You bought me just enough time, and I managed to get the professor's correspondence with NATO from his computer. Granted, a lot of it was crap about the duodenum of the flesh, but maybe that's some kind of code. I helped you distract Selenchek. What now? For starters, I'm going to pay you a bonus for your help with the Selenchek case. You've done a good service in the interest of the greater good, so you deserve it. Great. I appreciate it. On the agenda, we have another difficult operation. NATO are encrypting much better than I thought. The information from their intelligence flash drives? Junk. The contents of their stashes? Solid gold junk. These assholes are very good at hiding their secrets. You think they've already found the red folder? Not according to our agents on the other side of the barricade, but NATO has far more resources at their disposal. They have savvy people in command who's realized how high the stakes are. Not like our narrow-minded assholes in uniform, who are just sat around sucking their thumbs. They don't understand the true value of the red folder. Have you got a plan already? NATO sends encrypted data packages about its operations via satellite. Yes, that's how seriously they're taking this. And we're scrambling around like a bunch of Neanderthals. It's embarrassing. Listen carefully. I'm going to give you some special scanners that you need to place at different points in Limansk. Will they allow us to hack the NATO's communication network? Listen till the end. This is only part of the mechanism. When you finish setting up the scanners, you'll find a hideout in Limansk. I'll send you the exact location. You'll need to find a special navigation device in the hideout. It will allow you to intercept the signal from the satellite, and the scanners will read it. A cunning plan. Why can't you just give me the navigator straight away? Scanners weigh a lot, and the navigator's even heavier. It's unwise to drag around a pile of iron like that behind your back in Limansk. Just so you know, once the scanners are installed, you won't have much time. If you hesitate with the navigator, someone will almost certainly blow them to smithereens, and we're screwed. What do we do then? What then? Come back to me. I'll get you new ones. But don't think we have round-the-clock delivery service for advanced military equipment. Try to do it right the first time, all right? So I've got to place the scanners, fetch the navigator from a hideout, set up the navigator. By the way, where do I set it up? It should be the highest point possible within Limansk. I'll send over the coordinates. Oh, well, I should probably get to work. And we get 4 anomalous batteries, some limb, and 8,000 rubles. That ends after lectures, and we get Satellite Thief Part 1, and these are the 4 scanners. Yes, you can stop trying to brainwash me so intensely. And these aren't that heavy. These are only 4 kilos. But this quest is going to be another one of those quests where when you place the very last one, you're on a time limit. And if you don't make it, you got to come all the way back to the bar, get more, and go and try again. So I'm going to head all the way back to Limansk, and I will see you guys shortly. All right, so we're in Limansk. There's going to be one here. So the big circle in the middle, the cross-shaped building here. There's going to be one up here to the right of where the Psy Bloodsucker Den is, and then there's going to be one all the way up here where the Chimera Den usually is. And once we place the last one, we have to come to here for the navigator, and then we'll have to go and install the navigator up here. I'm pretty sure that's where you have to go for one of the backpacks in one of the missions. It's like a construction site. So, all right, so the first installation we're going to do is at the cross-shaped area on the map here, and it's just on the ground right here. Remember, this does not reset your progress unless you place the last one and then die. Then you'll run out of time. In all honesty, that should have been the last one I placed, since the place you're going to have to go to grab the navigator is right next to it. All right, we're up at the far north one in the Chimera Den. It's just on the ground as well. I wanted to go ahead and place this one because the den is not up right now, and I don't want to have to deal with the boss while I'm trying to place these things. And now we're going to work our way back down, and we're going to place the one right here to the right of the Psy Bloodsucker Den. Then we're going to go down to the circle one down there. All right, this one is a very shitty location. It's in the middle of the road. There's a Gauss sniper. There's all kinds of NPCs. I just had to clear a zombie nest right there where the scanner goes. I just saw a player die to the left up there, and I don't know if it was a friendly or a hostile. Done. I'm out. After we place this last one is when the time limit starts. Like I said earlier, really you should place this one last so that you can just run right across the street and grab the navigator, but I wasn't paying attention. So the good thing is you can learn from my mistake. Can I do this from the bottom? We actually got to go up top and skyline. Done. Now we're hauling ass back to the navigator. It's going to be in here. This is where Arkanov's field agent had the device. Search. So that ends Satellite Thief Part 2. You get this thing, and it gives you 3. And this thing weighs 12 kilos. So plan accordingly. And now we're going way up north. Oh, God. Not like this. Heal. There's a player up there, so I'm trying to give him time to go away. Oh! Barely made that. Holy shit. That was dicey. I can't believe I did that in one attempt. But now we have to go back to the bar and talk to Arkanov. I'll see you guys once we make it all the way back there. All right, we are back at Arkanov now. Gonna talk to him again. Arkanov looks unusually cheery. Bingo, we got him. Shrivel up, you bastards. Let all the enemies of my great motherland tremble. We have a course. What are you excited about what happened? You, my friend, your service has finally paid off. Congratulations. Thanks to the information we intercepted from the satellite, we're able to surprise one of NATO's search squads. Here's what they found. What's that, the red folder? If we'd been that lucky, I probably would have had a heart attack from joy. We may not have the red folder, but we do have a lead. A very big lead. This is Sergeant whoever's report. During the evacuation of Limansk, he was one of the ones who instructed take the red folder out of the city. And NATO managed to find it. But it wasn't in their hands for long. We gave them hell. The legacy of red time will not fall to our enemies, and that would be a disaster worse than the second Chernobyl. We have his report. We are finally breaking forward. We're gaining ground. So now what's the plan? I forwarded copies of the report to the field agents. Here's your copy. It's pretty blurry here, but if you apply some logic and imagination, I'm sure you'll be able to figure out the gist of it. So I should try to find this red folder. That completes contact, and we get a red clue. Exactly. Find it, bring it here. Under no circumstances should the enemy be allowed to capture it. The red folder contains more than just secrets. As soon as you have it, run back to me as fast as you can. I promise I'll make it worth your while. I will reward you in full for your effort. That ends contact, and now we have a red clue. That'd be nice. I'm tired of all this running around like a headless chicken. I'll get your folder. So now we just have to go back to Limansk and find the red folder. He does give us this report you can read. It says, I, Roman Nikolov, whatever his damn name is, in connection with declared emergency evacuation and warning that agents of other governments may be present in the city of Limansk, I was given an order to confiscate the so-called red folder and transfer it to the Homeland Security Captain Selyunov. The meeting with Captain Selyunov was conducted at the station near the southeastern tunnel in Limansk. And I know for a fact that there is a tunnel, like he said, it's in southeast Limansk. It's right here. I'm going to head back up that way and try to find out where this thing is. I'll catch you guys here in a second. So once you come back to Limansk for the find the red folder for the red clue quest, you're going to come down here to the southeast, just to the southwest of where this building that's occupied spawns. Inside this little bus stop area, there's going to be a box right here in the corner. Seem to be some old documents. Search the crate. Among the documents you find records related to the red folder. You're on the right track, and you get the entry from Captain Selyunov's journal. My hand shakes as I write this. Why me? I just arranged a vacation to somewhere. And now all this mess. They gave me the damn file, but no clear instructions. I bet in the middle of their own mess, they don't even know what to do. Until new instructions come in, I'm going to be lie low in Mecharich's. Why not? The house in the northeast section of the city. I can retreat quickly if I need be, and it's close to the deli. So I'm going to head up there, and I'll see you in a second. All right, so the second place we're going to go is going to be right here to the south of whatever this little building is. It's pretty far up to the northwest area, and there is a hole right here in this ceiling you can drop down through, and you're going to search this desk right here. Almost immediately managed to find a record about the red folder and a pile of old documents. What luck! And that's from Frame the Stalker's note, and that says didn't find anything in these ruins except an old folder. It was full of scientific mumbo jumbo, and Petruka said it's probably instructions to make a time machine. Junk, but we can probably pawn it off at a scientist for a little pocket change. We'll go back to our camp, the hospital, and then see. So now we have to go to the next location. I will see you guys once we get there. All right, so for the third place, it's going to be this occupied building up here. This is where we had to come find the medical records. All right, so when you come in the front door here, you're going to go to the right and go all the way down the right hallway. And it's going to be this big cabinet with doors here. This closet shelves are literally overflowing with folders, papers, and documents. Search the closet. Among all the junk, another record labeled red folder. And we get the frame from the stalker's second note. The note said, I gave Safin the file. He's the expert in that military nonsense. He wants to consult his pal, who's a scientist. The guy set up a camp in the very spot that Laich is reaching his hand out. As Safin puts it, yeah, right, those crazy conspirators. So we are now going to the last location, and I'll see you guys once we get there. All right, we're at the last location, which is this little building right here to the south of the circle on the map. And when you come inside, there's a bunch of dead bodies. And the box over here with the blood on it, crate's covered in traces of fresh blood. There are several shell casings lying on its lid. It looks like it was a violent shootout here. Crate's empty. Whatever was in it, someone took it. You're about to leave when something silver catches your eye on the floor next to the crate. A small silver coin. Who dropped it here? And the red clue is complete, and we get a coin toss. And this is Rozov's coin, the guy who we've been talking to here in Limansk. So now we just have to return to Arkanov in the bar, and I will see you once we make it all the way back there. All right, back over at Arkanov, but he's gone, and we have Lyson standing here. Hey, remember me, Nikita Lyson, journalist. Our first meeting didn't go well because of your aggressive friend. Can we do a little interview now? Can you spare a minute? I'm going to tell him, look, I'm in the middle of something very important. Not sure it's the best time. Just a couple of questions. I won't take more than a couple minutes. Faster than hurling a bolt into an anomaly or shooting a blind dog. I'll tell him I'll give him the interview. You can't imagine how many people turn their noses up when I introduce myself as a journalist. I'm trying to be honest with them, and they think I'm going to expose them for some gossip piece. Well, I just want to ask a few questions. All right. Is it true that you work for a certain Arkanov, a secret military agent? I'm going to tell him I work with him, but he's not a military agent as far as I know. Interesting. My insiders who rarely let me down are 146% sure that Arkanov is a military agent. Anyway, let's move on. Are you aware that Arkanov as a military agent has exceeded his official duties, in fact, committed a number of war crimes against NATO and in the territory of Limansk? No, I already told you Arkanov isn't a military agent. There's something you're not telling me? Oh, what a shame. I couldn't convince you to be completely honest with me. And my last question. Is it true that the purpose for this whole crazy operation is to find some mythical red folder that contains information about a certain fantastical scientific project from the Soviet era? Red folder? What the hell are you talking about? Noted. Excellent. That wasn't scary, was it? A friend of mine compares journalist to dentist. Apparently they both cause him the same amount of pain. I have to go. I got to work on this new material. Coin toss is done and we get a journalist schemes. Yep, good luck. And now you have to have all these notes in your inventory plus the coin. And we have to talk with Arkanov, who is sitting right over here behind the barter guy. He's just chilling on top of this thing. Damn it, 7 of my field agents in Limansk have been killed, and to top it off, Rozov, he's disappeared. 2 of my people claim they saw him leave Limansk through one of the space bubbles. What's going on? Where's the red folder? I think I have the answer to your question. I found 2 dead soldiers in Limansk. Did they have the red folder? My primary concern was the fate of the folder. I suspect Rozov took the folder. I found his coin at the scene. Son of a bitch, the backstabbing traitor. I knew there was something wrong with him. He's always secretive, but I thought it was just a character trait. He's just a bald-headed bastard with a good poker face. He played me for a fool with his bluff. He must work for NATO. We can't catch him now, can we? I've taken care of all that. I sent the 2 that spotted Rozov to follow him closely. If they detect any trouble, they'll stop him immediately. He must have already managed to get to the cordon. Hurry up. Help my man capture the traitor, retrieve the folder from him. So a journalist's schemes are complete, and now we get the red folder. All right, just don't get all worked up. We'll catch your Rozov. Now we have to run all the way down to the cordon. So we're heading pretty far south into the stalker side of the cordon. So I'm going to make that run, and I will catch you guys once we make it down there. All right, we're pretty close to where we need to be. If you look at the Swamps Cordon northern teleport, it's going to be to the southeast of it here. It's at this little village. We've had to come down here for other quests in the past. And Rozov is just chilling right here. Rozov is breathing heavily. By the look of things, he's recently been in a serious shootout and has been hit pretty hard. I remember you, Arkanov's pawn from Limansk. I don't have the strength to fight. Are you here to finish me off? You betrayed Arkanov, killed your comrades, and stole the red folder. What did you think would happen? He tries to laugh, but's in too much pain. Please, you'd better just shoot me. You don't want to listen to any more highbrow crap. You've been hanging around Arkanov for so long that you're starting to sound just as delusional as him. I'm just tired. What happened? Did you really get to the red folder before the others? Sure, my self-esteem isn't that high, but even I know I'm smarter than those empty-headed guys Arkanov recruits. Well, most of them. You're smarter, it would seem. Why did you decide to betray Arkanov? Do you think I should be ashamed? Haven't you figured it out yet? Arkanov is a fanatic and a maniac. He's unleashed a bloodbath in Limansk for the sake of one fucking folder. Man, we are in the zone in the midst of the hordes of mutants. Who should we be fighting here, huh? Arkanov has his own unique opinion on the matter. He thinks that we need to eliminate the enemies of the people. So he's wrong then? He's come up with so much crap just to brainwash people. Have you heard his story about these enemies of the people preventing the red folder from being taken out of Limansk? It's ironic that it's all built only on his own personal speculation. He's overstepped his authority as well as his human standards. So you're some brave hero then. Why are you doing this? He smiles dejectedly. I'd be lying if I said I was a hero. It's just, on the other side, I was offered a slightly higher salary, and the people there seem nicer. On the other side, you mean with NATO? Don't worry, they're not all smiles and sunshine either. They allowed Arkanov to create all this chaos in Limansk on purpose. They want to fan the flames of his scandals so they can limit the rights of the great power that Arkanov is fighting for in the zone. They promised me a new house, insurance, protection, but only if I manage to get the folder. It looks like we're all just caught in the crossfire. I'm tired of running, tired of fighting, tired of lying, tired of hoping, and I lost my lucky coin, damn it. After I just learned a new trick. It was even more complicated and cooler than the last one. It's up to you. I can't fight anymore, and I don't want to. And we either can tell him to give us the folder, keep the folder, give it to your new bosses. I'm going to tell him to give us the folder. And so he says, take it. He hands us the red folder. But listen, I'm begging you, don't give this shit to Arkanov. Just burn it. Don't let anyone get it. It's better that way. If everyone sees how many sacrifices have been made and how little has been achieved, maybe it'll make them think. So that completes the red folder, and we get fueling conflict. We'll see. And I recommend burning the folder because you get more money, you get better weapon paints, which I'll show you the different paints. I'll throw them up on the screen. But in my opinion, the one for burning it looks better. And also you get more money and you get to skip a quest later on because you get unique dialogue with a scientist. So I would suggest burning it, but you do whatever you want to. Maybe the red folder has caused enough trouble for either party to get their hands on it. You can end this madness now. Burn the folder. You throw the red folder into the fire, and after a few minutes, only a handful of useless ashes remain in its precious content, which military forces around the globe, hunted with such fanaticism, are lost forever. Leave. I'm going to actually talk to him again and see if he has any more dialogue. Nope. Okay. All right, I just got back to the bar, and as you can see, there's a pop-up over there, and the journalist wants to meet me at the bar. So we're going to talk to him now. And he's going to be back where he was last time we talked to him. Oh, you're here at last. To be honest, I always thought you were capable of doing what was best from the moment I interviewed you, but I'm still surprised you ended up burning the red folder. Get to the point, why'd you call me? I followed you when you left the bar. Don't look so shocked. Journalists aren't averse to playing spy games. I didn't understand what you were doing at first, but when I saw you threw the red folder into the fire, it was a bold move, for sure. That's it? You just wanted to compliment me? Some journalists are after the glory that their stories will bring them, but I'm interested first and foremost in the stories themselves. I want to see them from a first person's perspective, and maybe even participate in them. And this whole story, with the mad military man, the unfortunate traitor, and the secret folder in a ghost town, I can't wrap my head around it. Well, try to. I'll have to think carefully about what I want to include in my journalistic essay and what I want to say for my memoirs. But I didn't just want to share my feelings with you. I met Rozov here. Rozov survived as he left the zone. He was planning on leaving from what I gathered. He was afraid they'd have turned everyone against him, both Arkanov and NATO. But he was glad you burned the folder and asked me to give you a reward. He said it was for making the right choice. Thank you for bringing it to me, Lyson. And we get the pacifist camouflage that also gives us 110k rubles and 10, 20, 30, 40,000 repair parts. And that's how I was raised. What can I do? I brought it all in one piece. Thank you again for playing part in such an interesting story. And that ends meeting with a journalist. There'll be many more stories in the zone, Lyson, a lot more. And that ends Arkanov's little quest line. So if this video helped you out, go ahead and drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a good one, and I will catch you in the next video. You guys take it easy.